What's going on, Quan Zone? At work right now, but tuning in, it would be if you were going to tune into any stream, I would tune into this one. This is going to be the finale of the game. Because in a little less than 3 hours, we have something that I've been looking forward to since last year. Doom the Dark Ages. And we do have a little bit of... We have one more, this side boss, the Beast in the Painting Workshop. And then we have the final zone of the game. So let's go ahead and finish this, shall we? This looks like an increased Lampmaster. Alright. What ought to be easy. Master doesn't know about the Mael hydrogen bomb. He doesn't know. Oh no. Oh, whoa, 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 girl.
Last chance. Here we go. Show me what you can do. Better. Your turn to shine. Can do it.
Memesy, check out this war crime. At Death's Door gets upgraded. Was that really it? Was it just a second Lampmaster? That's a little underwhelming. Huh. I kind of thought it was just going to be on par. Granted, I don't think anything could have been on par with Simon, but I at least expected like a little bit of a boss rush, you know what I mean? Maybe like multiple phases of the fucking thing. Anywho. Every time I see this lady gliding, all I remember that tweet that said they could tell this game was French because barefoot woman. Is that a fact? I feel like I've seen games with bare feet women in it before. Barefoot, yeah. One owned by a bear. We also didn't do this chosen path thing. I don't know if I have everybody set up so that I can do it. We might as well give it a try, right? We're here. We'll start with our lower two characters. So Monoko and CL, and then we'll go Lune, Verso, and Mael. $17.38.
I love a dance. That's more like it. Oh, really?
These attacks are much slower than I'm used to. Also, that damage isn't too bad on him. looking at it realistically, yeah, let's do this.
That's more like it.
Damn it. Maybe I actually have to build him a little bit. I could give him just like mad auto attack shit. You know? Because I don't think he has an upgraded weapon on him either. My fault. My fucking fault, OG. Yeah, no, there was some stuff that I was doing, and it very clearly was not kosher for the boy. So here, let me set him up proper. Alphabetical, because we want both combo attacks. We got auto shell, give me powerful on shell. Go into his Lumina. Give me bop and bop. We can give you in media res. Yeah, let's do that. How about versatile? How about energizing attack? How about empowering attack? How about does accelerating heal? Did the stream go down? Or did stream elements just kind of fuck up there for a second? Could be the latter. Accelerating heal. Would this work with attack lifesteal? I don't know. We're putting it on anyway. Painted power. Solo fighter. And energizing start. Free AP. Yeah, let's let me cook. Let me cook.
A bit of violence, yes.
Oh yeah, no, dude, I should have been here a while ago.
Oh, really?
What's going on, Sagara?
Oh, what to choose?
Big titty. We'll send in CL. She should be fine in this.
Lady Luck's smiling today.
Lune I'm a little worried about, but I think Lune should also be fine. How you doing today, Cigar? Maybe not against this guy. No, its HP value should be fine. I need to put on Stormcaller.
I'm ready.
Should not have done that. But I think we can just do this.
Shut.
And then Mayhem. We have 2 ice stands, so we're gonna get 2 hits of healing, but overall worth.
I'll do it.
And now we can actually give us a AP tint.
Let us stain them.
Then we can cast Hell. This is interesting because I like whenever I do 2 of my attacks, he'll switch over to whatever
Ice. Shatter.
I'm trying to use.
I'll do it.
Now we'll switch to fire.
Let us stain them.
Healing light, but I won't have any AP. If I Mayhem, will he switch over to ice because I have the ice stain? Or will he stay fire? I don't know which one hits last. Been in Unreal Engine less than hell? Oh my god, they got him in fucking Unreal Engine 5 making the bad games. That's fun though. He could technically Stormcaller again?
A storm is coming.
Because then we'll get double strikes. If he goes for the earthquakes, okay, no. Now we Ice Lance.
Ice. Shatter. Chroma is flowing.
And now I can't hit Mayhem because he's in ice.
Welcome.
Fuck.
These paintings got hands in GL.
What's going on, Jay Smooth? Welcome back for the 51 months, Gangathan. Painting only for a little bit longer. Then we have demons to kill. I could switch him just raw over to fire. Actually. Yeah.
Ready to evade.
There we go. That one was a little bit of a puzzle to figure out, but shrimple enough. I'll let Mael go in this one. Are you fucking kidding me?
Lost chance. This will hurt.
I'm gonna fucking execute you, dude. And finally, the unkillable machine gun himself. Ew, freaky. He a little freaky with it.
That's better.
Read him up. +1 shield if not affected by a shield on turn start. Interesting. I probably could have used that a fucking while ago. However, I believe your weapon now says... No, wait, what was I thinking of? There was a weapon that he had that said can't gain shields. Yeah, this one. Start at X, can't be healed or gain shields. Type shit, type shit. I want to get double burn back on him just because this weapon does give us a chance to burn. I don't know if this stacks with the with burning shots. Right? Because if it stacks with burning shots, that means I have a 40% chance to burn on free aim. And then we just put on double burn and we're back to the fucking heavy machine gun. Everybody, I think we can say, pulled their weight there. There wasn't any fucking mishap about, oh, there was, this guy got lucky. What's going on, pal? How you doing? Let me see something. How many of these? We got 130. So... into an even 300. How about that? Actually, nah, I was gonna get him to 333, but I was like, I don't even think I know what to do with all that. I might though. I could find out something. Four left. 2 left. Bop bop. Actually, I should rest. Let me see something. Obviously, I don't want to switch off of any of these, really. But I do want to give him that base shield shit. That seems egregious. And double burn. I was about to say, am I blind? I was being very blind. And then we can give him second chance here. Okay, why not? Just in case, because I don't think we have another 1 or 2 that we want to put on right now. 30. Sniper doesn't do anything for us. I think there's really another 30 that I would want to put on my L. Maybe just energizing. No, because you don't even really need AP. Auto rush. Fuck it. Why not? And what I got for 20. Burn affinity? That actually should have been the first thing I looked at, because that's just raw 25% extra damage. And then extra break damage? Sure, why not? Fuck it. You have all of the shit. So I don't really think that I could give you anything more. 1 AP on base attack, you got combo attack. Fuck it, why not? Alright. You guys ready to go back to Lumiere? I've got to see a man about a dog.
Hang on tight.
I don't think he knows those things ain't shit. These fucking creations.
Wait for us here. It's dangerous for you near Papa. We'll have to move fast. I can't maintain them for very long. Tomorrow comes.
That was hard. No fighting in the streets? Oh, Oh, never mind. My fault, OG. I kind of wish we would plant the 33 flag here, but I get it.
Great.
These expeditioners are glorious wreakers of havoc.
The sword of Lumia.
I wish Gustav showed up as paint. Nah. I think we're good with Gustav living as a memory. I think it's thematic for this game's like story.
Nice.
I think we would have a little bit of ludonarrative dissonance. As cool as the moment would be if fucking Gustav just showed up and was like, "No, I'm helping." Come mind your business.
An advantage.
Okay, you don't want to mind your business, we'll just kill you. We'll just fucking kill you. Verso, turn this guy into fucking... dead. Turn him into dead. Perfectly normal trash can. There's a message inside.
Actually, I am gamaging like everyone else. Looks like my plan didn't work. During my time in this trash can, I found a rare treasure.
What?
I'm trusting it to you now. Farewell.
Oh, that's cute. I kind of like that.
An advantage.
That was the trash can we saw at the beginning of the game that I had to inspect multiple times in order to get that the line of dialogue and get the color of Lumina. It's actually mad cute. Even if that sword doesn't do the highest damage, just because of how it looks in the lore, it's just simply peak. I like it a lot for the for like the lore of for the lore of it being Simon's sword. I think that's very, very neat. Oh damn, y'all fighting over there. What's this way? Can we talk about Expedition 60 with a crazy group of lads? I still, you're not the first person to bring up Expedition 60. I think like, is this towards the beginning of the game? Which way is progress? I see a flag. Flag means progress. But I don't, have we, do I have the fucking Expedition 60 journal? I don't think I do. Yeah, no, I'm missing 60, 64, 52, 53, 57, or 47, 42. Yeah, I'm missing a few. Where we started the game, yeah.
Useful.
Energizing powerful, 2 AP on applying powerful. I like how this thing comes and looks at you. I don't really need that though on Verso. I think Verso is got all the AP application that I need that I could possibly want. Because he gets powerful on base attack, and we already get 9 AP after a base attack turn. If you look around some water, eh. If it was down by the docks, I might have missed it already. I have a feeling we got a lot of story stuff coming up. You get the little slowdown because you're on the roofs, and then the music kicks up again. The fuck are these? Music doesn't change, that's super good. Are those copies? They do look like...
That will help.
I don't want to say crude recreations of Expeditioners. It looks like Eskia now. Oh, and it says Sophie on it. Aww. That's actually super cute. I like that. These guys are fucking locked in it. You want a little 3-on-3 action? That guitar is going nuts back there, by the way. My word.
Perfect.
Can't see shit over here.
Lovely.
Your father. He's at the tower.
The Eiffel Tower?
My own.
Painting boy? What do you got for me? Isn't it beautiful here? Her paintings are always astonishing, yet I wish she would understand just what it means for me to paint. The boy has gone silent. So from what I understand, the fading people that you see around
Nice.
are kind of like, I don't want to call them echoes of the family, but the man is clearly Renoir at a lot of spots. The woman is very clearly Aline at some spots. But there are some times where it like says, yo, look at him go. I'm glad I looked back at him. I would have never seen this. Charging stun. Gradient charge on hitting a stunned enemy. Neat. The woman sometimes appears as Aline, sometimes appears as Clair. It's just like dependent on the text, you can tell. And the boy is Verso. Get him. This guitar is really nice in this. Is it matching me right now? If you don't find the captain's log, the long and short of it is that they were a naked expedition that trained their bodies to the limit, were able to walk through the barrier. They made it up and talked to the paintress. They went to the abyss to try to defeat Renoir while the captain swam back to tell the truth. But Gamage as he got to shore. Ah, okay. Because I think fucking Kenro's spoiling ass was talking about fucking... I wonder if we're going to see anything about Expedition 60. Like a couple streams ago. And I was like, why 60? OST change kind of scared me, cannot lie to you.
Oh, lovely.
You know, I think if you wanted to have
Lovely.
the Gustav moment, and you wanted to bring the Lampmaster back, do it right here. Make this enemy a Lampmaster and force me to look at a recreation of Gustav losing. Yes, I know Renoir killed Gustav, but I think making people remember the moment, I think, is more important. That's awful. Let him win? No, I don't think you do. 75%. Damn. I think Gustav's death, like, the more and more that we learn about this game, the more and more that it becomes apparent to me that Gustav's death is, like, a very much so needed thing. And thematically tying in to everything that we've experienced, it's good to understand and come to terms with the fact that he died.
The Opera House.
Right? Mael was so hell-bent on getting revenge for Gustav against Renoir that Nier has suffered much damage. There's something in the water? Okay.
William, Expedition 60. They mocked us when we said the human body is the strongest of them all. We trained relentlessly, and now our bodies have achieved the pinnacle of human performance, with which we are able to crush our enemies. We are so much more agile and aerodynamic without the heavy uniforms constraining our glorious muscles. With Leslie's unstoppable training regime, we are impervious. That's how we were able to charge through that ghostly Gamage barrier and reach the Paintress. But it seems we've been wrong about what she is. The Paintress is just as trapped as we. The real terror lies beneath the monolith. The rest of Expedition 60 marched on to confront him, while I was tasked to warn Lumiere. But it seems I might have run out of time. One last swim separates me from Lumiere, but even with my mighty muscles, I don't know if I can outswim the Gamache. So here I write my final message. Bare naked muscles will save the world. And don't waste time on the paintress. Aim for the bottom of the monolith.
Interdast. But Gustav's death, I think, very much so a needed catalyst, very much so a
Perfect.
thing that I think a lot of people don't really pay too much mind to it once you get to like this part of the story. Or rather, I haven't seen that many people talk about Gustav, but the whole theme of the game is learning to let go, right? Learning to let go, learning to deal with your grief. And I think Gustav's death is the catalyst that should kick off and warn you as to what you're exactly getting
An
into.
advantage.
And I think Mael, like, as far as the character has gone, like, mentioning it, she even has not moved on from Gustav's death, which you can, like, contextualize as, like, she lost another brother when she was 16. So there is no way for her to come to terms with it as quickly as somebody else would, right? Especially with her deep-seated memory / trauma of losing Verso outside of the canvas. Her trying to cling on to everything that Gustav left, right? She holds on to the journal and she writes in it. It's nobody else. Like, the person who is responsible for writing down and tracking their expedition journal does not care to write in Gustav's journal. Mael does that. She's doing it so she can give it to his apprentices. She's carrying on his legacy. Verso is the one that talks about burying Gustav. He knows the place for it. He suggests it. And they go and they do it, yes, but Mael's still... Even the game's skills reflect this. Mael is not great at letting go. You know, and who can blame her? She's a kid. Like, I don't really fault her for that. But it is interesting to the overall, like, narrative that Gustav is still important after his death, but I think an important part of passing by on grief is remembering why you grieved in the first place. Because if you can be reminded of it and it will hurt you just the same every single time, then I don't think you've truly moved on. You know what I mean? So I think having the game show Gustav's death again, I think would have been, albeit, you know, like, I don't know if Mael is in the headspace to resurrect Gustav as, like, a chroma ghost, but I think showing him losing again could have helped reinforce a little bit. Is it absolutely needed? No. Do people want to see Gustav die again? Probably fucking not. But, you know, I am a man bound by several ideas.
Nevrons from the Axon Islands. What are they doing here?
Well, they're being fucking freaky is what they're doing.
Perfect.
You're outmatched.
I think it makes sense for the Axon Island things to be here because those are we got the confirmation a while ago that it wasn't Renoir that made all of the Nevrons. He just isn't responsible of making the Axons, which I think is another neat little layer, right? Of symbolism. 5% HP recovery on hitting a stun target. Are they trying to tell me something?
What have we here?
I don't think I need to fight those. I think I'm good.
Almost there.
Mael,
Let's go.
Clea really went. Let me drop these energy sealing fiends, then bolt. Yeah. Clea came in, saw what was going on, saw everybody was fucking around, and said, yeah, I'm getting out of here. Fading boy. Maybe I should continue. Maybe I should continue. Forever. Add more Verso adds more to Gustav. By virtue of the fact, or by virtue of the fact, that Verso has been watching us and knew Gustav was at least trustworthy enough to be around us. I don't think it was he was trustworthy enough to be around us. I think it was more that he was capable and showed that he cared about Mael to a degree, right? Lune had to be convinced to go check to see if Mael was alive.
lovely.
CL was perfectly content being in the Gestural Village. But Gustav was the only one that was like, I need to go see if she's okay.
No need to manorokapet, you know.
This place is sad. Type shit. The fuck? Oh, this is lower level than what I have, so I can't even buy it, right? Yeah. Recover 5% on P on AP, 5% health on stance switch. 1 AP on stance switch is the first thing. I know how to read. I mean, we'll get a quick little bout in.
Gao baka kiko mao.
Full strength. Oh. I mean, this isn't better than At Death's Door, but this is interesting. Might as well pick it up.
Unagomi.
No reason not to. At this stage of the game, are you crazy?
Papa is somewhere past the gardens.
OST kind of falling off right now is a little bit ooky, a little bit spooky.
Nice.
Gustav's theme.
I can't sustain the expeditioners much longer.
Ned, we need to defeat them fast.
Why did you make this path? What did you do this for? I imagine Gustav was at least a factor that Verso figured would be good for Mael. Anywho. I think Verso, like... I don't think, like I said last time, I don't think Verso was acutely aware to the exact type of person for Mael that Gustav was. Because, like I said, if Gustav was around, right, I think Mael could easily, or more easily, come to terms with certain things needing to go, right? Like, she was, she had to eventually, like, be convinced that Alicia needed to be wiped away, right? And granted, she does it, but she doesn't do it, like, immediately. She doesn't, like, the very next time she sees her, she's like, oh, yeah, I gotta get you out of here. She does make that realization on her own, and I think that's important, but I do think that if anybody was going to help her make that or have that understanding, it was going to be Gustav. Just because of how he carried himself in the prologue. Like, you see him, like, him and Sophie, I think, are, like, a great little microcosm of this game's themes. And very early on, you get to see that Gustav, like, he knows somebody is going to, like, this person is going to go away from him forever, but he's making the most of it. He's, you know, having one last good day with Sophie.
The most enticing challenge.
We fought these before. And I think if Verso knew that about Gustav, he might have tried to save him and keep him around for a little bit longer. Because he, Gustav rather, would have been the one person to be like, yeah, no, it's okay. We can have our gommage, our group gommage. Always play twice in a row, but deal 50% less damage. Ew. 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 Yuck. Ew. Yucky. Ew. Less damage? Unless that stacks with Cheater. If that stacks with Cheater, ooh, that'd be funny.
Papa's over there. And the chroma we need to bring back Lumiere.
Even I can sense him.
We'd better make sure we're ready.
Oh, I'm ready, Freddy. Let's have that talk, shall we?
Papa?
Alicia.
Please. I just want you to understand what this canvas means to me.
I do understand. I know how powerful and intoxicating it is. How deeply attached we can become to the worlds we pour our hearts and souls into. I was enthralled, and it nearly killed me.
It doesn't mean you have to erase Verso's canvas.
Child, do you think I want to? After all the sorrows we've endured, do you really think that I want to destroy this last piece of his soul?
Then don't.
Life keeps forcing cruel choices. We do what we must.
Grief often blinds us, and we make choices we can never take back.
You grieve for two.
I grieve for many.
The choices of parents leave indelible marks upon their children. But ultimately, the voices in their head have to be their own. You cannot set the boundaries of their life for them.
After the fire, you wanted me to find new joy in life. And I tried. But I couldn't. Verso died because of me. How do I get from that to joy?
Child, it will get better, I promise you. But this is not the way. Your friends speak truth. And it changes nothing. You can hate me. But that's a choice I must make. As your father, I must look out for you. Especially when you can't look out for yourself.
You treat me as if I'm still 5!
I treat you as if the shadow from the worst day of our lives is going to suffocate you and take you from us too! Enough. I said enough.
Nobody said anything, Renoir. wonder if that showed up if you didn't max the relationships. I doubt it. That dialogue is very specific there, I think.
Let's go the path.
Alright, Renoir, let's do this.
Really need it. Cut him down.
His phase 2 about to hit like Fent, huh?
Not impressed.
Ah.
Stop this insanity. It's time to go home.
Kind of like how no one here is 100% wrong.
This
Yeah, no, that's...
irk me.
Fuck. He keeps regenerating.
Whoa, the frame rate
Maybe
is
we focus on
getting
the
shot.
outcomes first.
That's the rough thing, is that like none of these people are wrong. It's just that there is this Aline coming back in? Hey, Mom.
Mama.
Aline, you're going to kill yourself. It's too soon for you to return to any canvas.
Kaiju fight. This has got to suck for Verso.
You're selfish, Aline!
You just got buffed. I'm fine with you just getting buffed.
Some help? Blades sharp.
At least he's like, I'm depressed in the real world. I'd rather live a short but happy life in the painting. Yeah, but like, I think that's a little antithetical to what she was saying to herself, if that makes sense.
Put aside the canvas. It's killing you both.
Because... Oh! I think, like, Mael going to Alicia and saying, you deserve a new beginning, I think is, more rough to her whole ideal of being in the canvas herself, right? Which is another neat thing about grief, is that sometimes the advice you give to other people, you can't take it yourself. Oh, frame rate. I don't know why the frame rate's dying here.
Your mother was the one who saved me when I lost myself in a canvas.
Well, there you go.
She taught me how to safely use our gift. How to soar without flying too close to the sun.
She gets it from her mom, I guess.
We painted hundreds of canvas worlds, pushing the very boundaries of creation. And she never let me forget.
Oh, looked out of the window on accident.
As a price. Yet, here we are now.
So trust her. If she's doing this, then...
I trust what she taught me. This is not a game. You think you know what's at stake, but you don't.
I know precisely what's at stake. You want control. You want to feel like you're doing something. You couldn't save Verso, so you want to save us. Except you're not. Destroying the canvas won't help us move on. It'll just deny us the one place that helped us feel again.
67 years. 67 years I spent trapped within the monolith. But I persisted. Do you know why? Do you know why I cannot leave her or you behind? This is what I see every day. I cannot spend another day with living corpses. Since the fire, our family has crumbled. Aline in the canvas. Clair fighting a solitary war. You, a living ghost. Verso's death broke us. Want it to be fixed. I need it to be fixed. I cannot lose you too.
Don't you see? That's how I feel about them. I can't lose them either. I've lost too much. Papa, see? I've lost so much.
We both lost so much.
Papa, I don't want to lose you either. I'm not leaving you forever. Just a little longer.
I want to trust you, but
you can.
I was about to say, I don't know. Verso been a little too quiet for my liking here.
keep the light on for you. I hope you find peace. Hold on to each other.
You can do that to yourself? What the hell?
Verso!
I'm sorry.
You can do that? Bullshit. Also, hold on. Let me pause this so I can, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, Lil Buddy has been moving at a fucking breakneck snail's pace, and I don't know why that is. Yeah, VTube Studios tweaking. All right, you gotta go, Lil Buddy. Bye. Painters can gamage themselves. Yeah, no, it's just that I guess we haven't really seen anybody with the wherewithal or foresight to do it. So I don't want to say it's weird to see, but it is interesting to see that if you want to leave the canvas, you can of your own volition leave the canvas. There we go. I don't know what VTube Studio was doing. It was going nuts. So a healthy way to deal with the canvas exists, yeah, but like most drugs, if if it makes you feel good, why would I want to stop doing it? It's us. Oh, oh. What's going on, Kynan? Hey, bud. You have fun?
Hi. You're tired of painting, aren't you? I'm tired too.
That's... You shouldn't be able to be here.
Lamont's gift.
Why did you run in? It's dangerous for you here.
See things as they are, not how you want them to be.
What?
You lied to your father.
No.
You saw it too. But he wanted to be. You're going to die here. Why don't you just leave? You can always come back.
The moment I leave, Papa will erase this canvas.
This is not worth your life.
What life?
You deserve a new beginning.
Of loneliness in a shell of a body, with no voice and no future.
You're my El. No matter where you are, you don't need this canvas.
But everything I want is here. Here I have a chance to live, Verso, to live. Up there I merely exist.
Gotta force her out.
Life keeps forcing cruel choices.
Stop quoting Papa!
It's time to stop painting.
Verso!
Oh.
Papa also said, hold on to each other.
Can't pick and choose. Aw, man.
I'm sorry.
She's about to stand haul the fuck out of my shit, dog. Decide the fate of the canvas? There's no choice to me. Like, we can go back and forth all day about who is more justified, right? I sympathize with Mael. Because she is right. Here she can be everything that she wants to be. But Verso's right. She'll die. Eat your own medicine, girl. I'm sorry, is that 3 turns? Lost the set. 0-2, but they were close games.
Don't do this. Don't leave me again.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, huh? You've got this incredible power to paint. You'll never have to suffer a life you don't want. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
La la
miss you guys.
This game is fucked up, dude.
It's okay. It's over. Versa.
A life to love.
Miroir du temps, nos histoires s'alignent dans le creux de nos mains. Deux mondes se dessinent, l'un peint de rêve où le chagrin s'efface, l'autre nu et réel où notre deuil prend place. Dans le dessin, toile vierge, horizon lointain, peignons ensemble les couleurs de demain, au clair obscur. Œuvres infinies, chaque pas trace la route d'une vie. Au lendemain non écrit, sous les
That's a good ass video game. I think there's a lot that you can do with this as a concept moving forward. You can have more canvases. I'm curious to see about the writers as well. Like, not specifically the ones that murdered Verso and tried to kill the rest of the Dissandra family, but I do want to see more of that concept expanded upon. Because I think that's the one thing walking away from this game that I'm like, I didn't really get everything that I wanted in that regard. But that being said, this was fantastic. I've talked about the gameplay before, and just to touch back on it one more time, it is a very, I would say, it's a very decent, like decently scaled, decently balanced RPG up until you hit the end of Act 2. Once you get Painted Power, you turn into 17 different demons. And I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily, but, you know, when you're creating what's supposed to be difficult fights, and I look at that and I go, hey, I'm gonna do the thing that I know wins the fight, whether it be with Verso, Mael, whether I had CL in the team or not. You know, like, I was able to find a great, like, sense of I am strong, right? So it is a little bit weird for me to go, yeah, this was amazing, and in the same vein go, hey, maybe I'm a little bit too strong. Eskia, my beloved. That being said, I don't think I had too much of an issue with it. The Legend of Dragoon / Paper Mario moments where you have so it was Andy Serkis. Okay, I wasn't fucking crazy. You have the very fun, like, parry mechanic, which I think is very neat, that once you reach a certain point in the game, you can kind of set the game up to not care about the timing things, right? Like, if you don't want to dodge, you can go find the shield, you can go find the shield pictos, you can go find the I almost called them materia. You can go find the shield picto, you can go find the second chance picto, you can go find the cheater picto, right? And you can effectively avoid that whole mechanic and make this thing like traditional turn-based if you want to. Conversely, if you don't want to play a turn-based game, you can figure out a way to have the enemy not touch you whatsoever at any point in time. And I think that's also very neat. The ability to play the game both ways, because in games like, you know, Paper Mario and in Legend of Dragoon, you can still get hit, right? Like, there is no, like, oh, you're reducing the damage to 0 ultimately all the time ever. It's just, yeah, you reduce the damage, or you do more damage. And if you play this game the proper way through, you can go the whole game with never getting touched, it will take you a little bit of practice, but you'll be able to do that. The Picto and Lumina system, I think, is very neat. My main question is, I don't know why there was that. Do you have to do 4 battles in order for you to equip a Picto as a Lumina? I felt that was a little limiting, and oftentimes, like, whenever I was in the overworld, I would just go, let me go find like a low-level enemy to beat on, right? So it is kind of weird, but I do appreciate the fact that you can just make yourself broken, and the ability to make yourself broken trivializes a lot. It feels weird because we got to the point where Verso literally was unkillable in our game. With the Simon weapon, second chance, and the shields, he's untouchable. He cannot be killed. But with that said, the gameplay, I think this is probably, it's gonna go up there in terms of RPGs for me. I don't know if I'm going to make any definitive statements of I'm throwing it in like my top 10 or my top 5 even. I think it has a very good chance if I like sit down and think about it. Monoko is a production dog. That's where they got the name from. But that being said, a very, very, very solid game. I think the one thing that pushes it above and beyond for me is the story, which I'll touch on in a little bit. The other thing that I would like to point out as, like, this is a fantastic game, we've mentioned it before, the OST is fucking phenomenal. Thank you, thank you. Oh, having everybody in the background is great. But the soundtrack, even this main menu theme, is phenomenal. I think it's a very good indication, as this game is as a whole, of a lot of people, and I know that sometimes passion into a project doesn't necessarily translate to the best thing ever, right? It's hard to find something that you look at and you go, yeah, I can see that you were really excited about this. I can see that, you know, you had a lot of passion for this thing. And sometimes that passion does not translate into executable skill. I think this game is the direct antithesis to everything I just said. The people that worked on it, in every regard, I think were very skilled, and they had a lot of passion to make a game like this. The voice cast is amazing. The soundtrack, the guy who made the music for this, like, I think it's a very very funny tale to tell, right? But it just shows that, you know, you just got to find the right person, right? We did have like a couple issues with bugs in the game, and I'm not going to chalk that up to like, oh, you know, if this was a better game, it would have been made properly. I do wish I could have played it with mouse and keyboard. I feel like my dodge and parry timing was off, and sometimes by pressing also, if I would have been able to press, like, you know, one, like, a face button for everything, but parry being on the shoulder button kind of fucked me. So I feel like on controller, the age is getting to me. I can't really press a button on controller as fast as I can press a button on my keyboard, and that's just a thing. But the fact that I had to switch to controller, and controller had a weird thing with the dead zone and which directions that I could sprint. There were times, like every single time that I wanted to like enter a menu or exit a menu, the game would kick back over and I would see the keyboard commands. It was a little bit irritating. I felt like there was times as well with controller where even if I was, moving in a straight line, moving forward, holding the sprint key would not allow me to jump at moments, which I really wanted to jump. The mantling, there was a little bit of an issue there, but those negatives, as far as gameplay is concerned, I think are outshined in every other facet by the quality of this game on display. Fantastic OST, great gameplay. If people, I see so many people on Twitter and in other spaces go, I hate turn-based combat. And while my brain doesn't recognize why turn-based combat is like the best in the world, I can see why people would be like, I don't like turn-based combat. I think this game should be presented to everybody that goes, I don't like turn-based combat, as a indicator of what, I don't want to say active turn-based combat is, right? Because we have ATB in other games. It's an existing mechanic that Square has set up for a very long time. But this game is very much so the most active turn-based game that I think we've seen in a very long time. The soundtrack, again, I really, 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 really appreciate the fact that there are 154 fucking songs on this soundtrack, with 20 more bonus ones on YouTube. There's 8 hours of music for this game, front to back, no repeating tracks. And a lot of them are fucking fantastic. A lot of them, I can't understand French. So, like, they're great songs. I can't speak to, like, how nice they are without looking at, like, translated lyrics, but fantastic, right? The story, I think, is, and I mentioned this yesterday, I don't think I've felt this way, the way that I do about a story like this, in terms of resonating with its themes and appreciating them for what they are, than I did with Silent Hill 2. Like, the very first time I was able to play it and understand what's going on in the game. Whereas Silent Hill 2 is a great story about, it's a great story about guilt, loss, and your feelings of self-worth, and your feelings of guilt in spite of that self-worth. I think that this game is an excellent story and showcase of what grief and loss does to people. I think a lot of people don't really have a lot of thoughts like that on the regular, And for good reason, like, unless you're losing people every day, it's something that, you can only be reminded of in the time that passes after it. Showing people that are affected by the same event and showcasing how they're dealing with it, I think is very good. And those themes are shown before you hit the Act 2 reveal that, hey, this entire game is about grief, right? The concept of the expedition and the gommage, as far as the characters in the canvas are concerned, they really feel like characters having to understand that at one point you expire. And with that expiry, there is a lot you can do with this. I saw people in the chat talking about Lune not coming in to greet Verso when he was ending the canvas. And yeah, Ciel is at a point where she, at one point, tried to take her own life because the weight of the loss of her husband was weighing so heavily on her. And then when she tried it and was rescued, she found out that she, in that act, was also responsible for the death of their child. Ciel, out of everybody in the party, has the most tragic experience with loss. Everybody in the party has that experience of loss, except for maybe Eskie, and I'll talk about that in a second. But every other member of the party experiences some form of loss, great or, you know, as expected by the rules of the world. You know, Lune, in that moment where she sits down on the other side of the threshold, like, almost defiantly. It's, I think, partially because she had come to terms with the fact that, you know, I've been living my whole life trying to do what my parents wanted for me. And she was doing the research that they effectively, I don't want to say made her for, but they raised her to do, right? And Verso in their rank 7 gives her that solace and satisfaction that, you know, just because they're gone doesn't mean you have to focus only on what they want you to do, right? She, at the point of the ending of the game, has gotten to the eventuality that she has to do things for herself, you know? So Verso ending the canvas is kind of like, hey, you should live for yourself now, and then ends the canvas. So I understand why she's upset, you know, like I had all of this stuff here, but Ciel is, I think, a little bit more understanding of, yeah, if this is the end, then so be it, right? Like, I've had my time to grieve. I've had my time to healthily come to terms with it, and I'm done. You know, I'm good off that. I don't need that no more. Right? The characters, like, knowing that the Gommage happens, and from the very outset of the game, you're shown that people are, like, the expedition is a thing to behold, right? It's your one sense of hope that people can, you know, stop loss from happening, right? But they can't. Nobody can, right? It's a fruitless endeavor from the outset of being told that there were 67 that came before you, right? Gustav and Sophie, they're presented as very much so a couple in the opening moments of the game. And in those opening moments, they really do feel like I had to think back on dialogue that I had heard, because I was like, did they say that they're broken up or are they back together? Because they feel like they're a couple, right? They feel like they regard each other as, you know, their significant other, right? And once you get down to the docks and the number on the monolith changes and the Gommage starts, it then hit me that that's why. That's why, you know, like, they're so amicable to each other. Even if they broke up, Gustav knows that in that moment, you know, this is your last day. I'm gonna go out on the expedition after this, and let's be nice to each other, you know? That's at least how I interpreted it, right? But, and like I was talking about earlier with Verso and Gustav specifically, it shows that it shows that Gustav is understanding. He is the expedition studier, right? Like, he is the most knowledgeable about the Gamage. He's the most knowledgeable about other expeditions. And, you know, his intuition on understanding these things, I think, leads him to a spot where he's the perfect person to be with Sophie at the time of her Gamage, right? But in that regard, once they go out on the expedition and they meet Renoir on the shore, and Renoir fucking blows everyone up, that moment in the first area of the game where Gustav sits down and you can kind of see him dejected and downtrodden, and he's like, yeah, fuck it, man, I guess I'm just gonna die here. Like, he's not begging, he's not pleading, he's not trying to fight forward. That little minor brief bit of grief hits him. He understands that, yeah, this is probably where I'm gonna bite it. Like, I'm dead here, dude. And he sits down and he is ready to give up before Lune pops up. And when Lune appears, he has that split-second decision of, okay, you survived. There's others. I'm not the only one, right? So he goes and they eventually find Mael, who I think it is very neat that she is safe in the manor with the curator, specifically because where do you find Mael? You find her in the Flying Waters. Alicia's salvation is not in fire, by the way. So after you find Mael and Gustav gets to see her and he's like, yeah, no, great. He tells her, hey, if we see that guy, we gotta fucking go. Like, there is no, like, that guy scares me. If I see white hair, I'm running, right? And then you progress through the story a little bit more, and then you reach the Stone Cliffs, right? And once you get to the Stone Cliffs, you have the after Lamp Master showdown with Renoir. Renoir appears as everyone is trying to leave. Mael looks over to Gustav and says, I don't remember the exact thing she says, but she effectively says something like, why aren't you running, right? Because Gustav is doing his best to make sure that the motto of the expedition, right? The two mottos they have, for those who come after, tomorrow comes. Who else but the guy who has been studying the expeditions for so long understands that even in his death, life goes on. You're gonna survive. Well, I'm going to make sure you get out of here, so get out of here. And obviously, Verso comes in and saves the day a little bit, but the rank 7 with Mael, where Verso can admit, I think it's important to note there, he can admit that, yeah, I could have saved him. It's a real strong gut punch, right? Because once you meet Verso, it becomes a little bit more of a interesting thing, right? Like, Verso is he was a part of the first expedition. What? Okay, so he's super old, but he looks young. Like, he's got white in his hair, but he's not like really that old. But Etskier made mention of his friend Verso, and apparently he can't die. Like that's interesting. And Verso is adamant in his statement of, yeah, I've traveled with other expeditions. We need to defeat the Paintress. If you can't do that, then I mean, I'll help you. But like, we got to do that. Like we got to keep it going. Let's go defeat the Paintress, right? Your secondary objective is, you know, as Mael states, we need to kill Renoir, right? He killed my brother. I've got to kill him, right? Which I think echoes the later sentiment of Clair. You can see all of the family members inside Mael, right? She gives you Alicia's unique perspective, but she has that sense of wanting revenge for the person that killed her brother, right, in Gustave, for wanting to kill Renoir, the painted Renoir. She, much like her father, wants control over the situation that she is presented with. She wants to have the final say. You see that in the final showdown, the fate of the canvas, right? She wants to be in here, right? She wants to have control over what she can, right? Whether it's to make herself feel better, or it's to, you know, like, give herself, like, the feelings of, this is good, I like this, right? And in that sense of, I don't want to say self-delusion, but in that sense of coping by being in the canvas, she is like Aline. She is like her whole family, right? Because there is no one set path that you grieve on. There is no one set path that you have to stick to when you're grieving, right? So, you know, your secondary objective becomes kill the painted Renoir, and your primary objective remains the same: go kill the Paintress. Go stop this from happening, because that's what Verso wants. Verso, from the moment you see him, says, yeah, I want to make sure that, you know, the Gomages stop. And in a sense, right, he's not exactly wrong. Because, hey, if the canvas is gone, the Gomages don't really happen. So I guess he's not technically, he's creating a lie by omission, but, you know, he's not exactly cluing people in. There's very, like, I wouldn't call them subtle. I think that upon hindsight, they are very obvious, like, clue-ins, right? That something's up with Verso. Whether it be when you're in Old Lumiere and Renoir goes to strike at Mael and he says, Alicia, move, or when it's when you're fighting against the Sirene, right, and everybody is in their delusion of you know, seeing the person that they lost, right? Verso looks directly at this amalgamation of his mother and he looks pissed the fuck off, right? So, like, there's some very, like, in your face forward stuff about what's going on, right? But I think the overarching thing is Verso doesn't clue you in. Nobody clues you in. The epilogue has to clue you in. The first epilogue, right? Where you see Monolith Year 49, you see Alicia wake up in the manor and go to the canvas. You see both Renoir and Aline stuck inside the canvas. Clea comes out and gives you the prep work. And then you understand, right? Once everything is put on the table and it starts to make sense, it is very much so, hey, bad stuff has happened. We don't want bad stuff to happen. So we are going to, if you want to go in and play with him, that's fine. I'm gonna be out here. I did my time in the canvas. I got shit to do. And the stealth action Splinter Cell-esque game where Clair goes around assassinating writers surely will be made at some point in the future. But that whole thing, I think, is a very strong turning point for the game, because I think for the longest part, for Act 3 in my mind was me going, so if Mael can bring everybody back, right? Doesn't that effectively mean none of this matters? Like, don't get me wrong, I had spent time getting attached to the party as a whole, right? Lune, Ciel, Monoko, and Eskie to an extent, right? As characters, I really like them. But if Mael can use her painter powers to bring them back, then this tug of war really means nothing, right? So I think for the longest time, I started to side with Renoir mentally. Like, yeah, we need to erase the canvas. Like, y'all need to come out of here. Because, like, ultimately, like, if you put it on paper, right? Renoir does have, as far as all of the other family members are concerned, the most sound idea, right? Like, hey, get everybody out of the painting, because if you stay in the pool, your skin will turn to prune, right? If you stay in the canvas, you're gonna die. So I am going to remove you from the canvas. But it becomes apparent that Renoir is very much so doing this out of desperation. If you were to look at the stages of grief, his might come off as anger, but I think his is more bargaining than anything, right? He's saying, you need to come out of here. I'm going to get you out of here because I don't want to lose any more family. His sense of control and the things that he wants to control are purely to prevent himself from experiencing further grief, right? And while I don't necessarily agree with him overall, I think from the moment Act 3 started, my brain was like, yeah, but if we stay here, you know, we might die. And then, like, my thoughts shifted, and I was like, okay, well, if we keep the canvas around, we can take, you know, brief little trips here, come and hang out with Verso. And the more and more the game went on, the more and more Mael gets accustomed to her painter's powers, the more and more I thought that that's not possible. Because Mael is, or Alicia is getting too accustomed to being Mael, right? In the painting, she doesn't have to worry about not being able to speak. She doesn't have to worry about her face being scarred, her eye missing. In the canvas, she is Mael, right? She can do anything, right? So over time, especially working towards the end, I thought that even Mael is going to be not shown as wrong, because like I said, I don't think any family member is wrong, right? that is the definitive statement that I'm going to make, walk away from this game with, and keep saying over and over and over again. None of the family is wrong. It's just they don't understand what their way of grieving can do to them, right? Or to the people around them. And with that, you get to the near end of the game, and Verso's original idea starts making more and more sense. The canvas does need to be erased. And he gets explained to it after Mael gomages the painted Alicia that, you know, I can't just shut everybody out, right? Like that would be fucked up. We need to come to some understanding. Like, yeah, I'll get you out of here if I need to, but that's the conversation they have with Renoir. The fact that there is a conversation with Renoir is, I think, the ultimate showing to Verso that, you know, like, yeah, okay, he understands. Clair has understood in her own different way, and Aline understands. She comes in to help stop Renoir, right? And once Verso steps through the threshold and sees the sliver of his soul that's left in the canvas, he's like, yeah, if you've been doing this for 67 years, you're just as tired as they are, aren't you? Yeah, I should put an end to this, right? Because I think even if you erase Verso's canvas, right, it is hard to say that you can make another canvas that's exactly like his, but you can make it in his memory. You know what I mean? You can create your Verso, like how the creation of the paintings Verso exists, right? Verso puts it plainly to you and says, hey, I'm not Verso. Like, I may look like him, I may sound like him, but I am not Verso, right? Like, that's the thing. So the moment before the final choice is made, where Mael says, I can't leave, I have everything, I think really contextualizes to Verso just how euphoric the feeling of being here is. Because it's not like she can't go into another canvas, but being in this one, trying to be with him after his passing, is not healthy for anybody. You are all trying to be here. You are all trying to do the things that you think are right for yourself without thinking about how that affects everyone. And if Mael stays in the painting, it's not explicitly said by the game, but I honestly don't think that there is anyone that could get her to come out. She's already shown that she is stronger than Renoir inside the canvas. She is stronger than Aline inside the canvas. If Renoir isn't able to make her leave, if Aline isn't able to make her leave, she will stay here indefinitely. She will die chasing this dream, this euphoria. So Verso has to do the tough decision. kick her out of the canvas. The moments after, where Mael is being sent out of the canvas, and you can see that loss of control is making her panic, and Verso is holding her, saying, "You're gonna be okay." That was fucking with me, dude. The ninjas who cut onions put a bowl of freshly cut ones right under my face. I almost lost it. Because after she loses that fight, the first thing out of her mouth isn't, "You can't take this from me." Kind of like how Aline did when you were fighting the Paintress. She says, "I can't lose you again." She wants to put into rationale that this isn't something that she wants to do for control. She's afraid. Because she's a kid. It's a really good game. I like it. To redouble back on some of the conversation that was being held beforehand, I do not think this is like the best game of all time. I think this is a very good game. This is probably game of the year for me right now. We'll see how that changes in about 36 minutes. But, you know, like, I can't remember the last time I was playing a game outside of Chained Echoes where I felt every part of the game was firing on all cylinders. The gameplay, the soundtrack, the writing and the story, you know, like, it's weird that the last two times that I felt that were in slightly non-conventional turn-based RPGs with a very small production team. Watching Painted Clair after the boss fight stab herself really puts her into perspective. Yeah. I think Clair is probably the most interesting member of the family, and I don't think it's close. But out of the past couple years, right? Like, I got like the RPGs that I wanted, right? Like, people I saw on Twitter before I started playing this game, I saw like a post that said, "Oh, you know, this just shows that people really do want turn-based RPGs." And I turned 90 degrees into my Steam library. I saw Metaphor ReFantazio, I saw Baldur's Gate 3, I saw Chained Echoes, and I was like, have we just not been playing turn-based RPGs? Like, they've been there, brother. They've been coming out. You just didn't hear about them. Which is crazy, because the Persona people made one of them. Yakuza Like a Dragon? I feel Yakuza is a little bit more niche, but yeah, Yakuza is up there for me, personally, but I think recommending Like a Dragon to somebody and being like, "Oh, hey, yeah, it's this turn-based game that's in the Yakuza franchise," and then you say Yakuza franchise, and then they turn and then they look at the Yakuza franchise and they're like, do I need to play all 6 of these games? I think I'm good. We have RPGs, but this is more active. No, I don't want to keep meat writing Chained Echoes. I think that game is phenomenal, right? I think that game should be talked about in the same vein as this game. But the concept of a turn-based game where you do more than just manage shit on your turn, we've had these for a minute now. That's why I'm confused, because Ed and Eddie has been off the air for a little bit now. But you know, we've had more active turn-based games, or games that, you know, they're not specifically turn-based, but guess I'll watch the VOD, huh? Hey, you came in here 2 hours and 15 minutes into the game. What's going on, B-boy? How you doing? I had work? Yeah, likely story on this Wednesday afternoon in the middle of the work week. You had work? And let me guess, this work took you away from your home so you could make money? Sure, yeah, I'll believe that. But like, we've had really good turn-based control, or turn-based games that control very differently from one another. Because one of the common complaints that I hear about turn-based games is that it's effectively just math simulated. And whenever I hear that, you know that picture of that comic of the guy raising his finger about to say something, and then he, like, the next panel is him, like, closing his mouth and his finger, like, starts to drift down? Like, that's how I feel about that statement, because I'm like, yeah, but there's more to it than just math. I mean, like, you're kind of right. It is largely just math. But I like math, so I like turn-based RPGs. But I think that the general people's consensus on turn-based RPGs has been so, the well has been so poisoned, right? With this game coming out and people going, "Oh man, this is take notes, Final Fantasy. This is, people want turn-based games." And I'm like, I think they knew. Once Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year and everybody was like, dude, that's fucking peak. I think people knew that people like turn-based RPGs. Because there is nothing more turn-based than video game Dungeons and Dragons. People just want to piss on Final Fantasy. Oh, I know, right? That it's just the weird, like, you want to piss on Final Fantasy, right? Like, you can do so. I don't think any game is beyond scrutiny. And if you're a person that's like, dude, Final Fantasy moving to action-based gameplay is very stupid and silly and it should have remained turn-based, right? Like, there is so much that you can hate on in Final Fantasy. And I say this as a Final Fantasy fan. There is a lot that you can go, dude, Final Fantasy is fucking dumb. And it sucks and I hate it, right? But, like, looking at this game specifically, yes, really good turn-based RPG. I think it has enough for people that don't like turn-based RPGs to look at it and go, that's a fun game. I enjoyed that. So I, much like I think anybody else would say rationally, really good game. I'm probably gonna stick it at like a 9.5 rating wise. And I think that is, there might be a little bit of you know, recency bias. You know, we're coming off of a drought of like games that have not come out that have been amazing, right? Like, what's the last like real good game to come out? I'm trying to think. I can't think of one. We forgot a turn-based game, Deltarune. Deltarune, I think, is in the same vein as Yakuza. It's a little niche. I really enjoy Deltarune, but Deltarune also isn't finished.
family, son.
Hey streamer, I just got here. Can you rewind time so I can watch the 2 hours 18 minutes and 20 seconds and counting of stream again? PLS and Ty Smile.
Zap, welcome back for the 49 months. Very much appreciated. Thank you, brother. And I'll once I learn time control, I think I'd probably be like one of the worst people with time control. Because I'd see somebody fall and eat shit on the sidewalk, and I'd rewind it like 17 times. Shadow of the Erd Tree? Do we count Shadow of the Erd Tree? Also, was Erd Tree last year or 2 years ago at this point? Let's go ahead and have me look. Shadow of the Erd Tree. 2024. Yeah, it was it was late last year too. It wasn't like it was fucking early last year. Fucking around this time. It's not even a year old yet. June, late June. But what before that? Like what was the last like really good, like universally like, hey motherfuckers, this is a video game, right? Because people were talking about like Shadow of the Erd Tree winning Game of the Year, and I remember like, dude, yeah, like what else? Metaphor, yeah, Metaphor was last year. I think Metaphor and this game kind of stand side by side. I did have less technical issues with Metaphor, so maybe I because I'd give like Metaphor a 9.25. I might give this game a 9.25. But yeah, like there haven't been like, because even though I loved Metaphor, a lot of people didn't like really like cling to it, right? I'm thinking of like a game like Baldur's Gate, right? Has there been a game between Baldur's Gate 3 and this where people were like, dude, video games are back? This and Split Fiction are the only games I'm hearing Game of the Year for. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Split Fiction and those other games like A Way Out and It Takes Two are fantastic little co-op games. But I'm going to hold everyone's hand when I say this. Split Fiction is not beating this in Game of the Year. I enjoy Split Fiction. I think it's a great game, just like I think how It Takes Two is a great game. But let's be fucking for real. There's only so many times that you can make me play co-op Limbo before I go, dude, this is co-op Limbo. My GOAT 100 line Last Defense Academy will surely win. We gotta get back to that too. Yeah, exactly, Ayame. Like, Split Fiction is good, 100%. Like, I don't think anybody would be like, dude, this game fucking sucks dick and balls, but like, let's keep it real for a second, right? Did Little Nightmares 2 even get Game of the Year nominated? I don't think so. I wasn't saying it because I'm unlikely to play either game. You're unlikely to play this? Dude, this is great. I think this game is super good. I was ready to fight you to the death over rating this and Metaphor the same. No, I think they're very similar in vein. like this game, I think if you, it's kind of like, you know, it's gonna sound weird me saying this, right? I think rating Metaphor as well as rating this high, like the same rating, I feel like is something akin to me going and getting a burger from like, you know, like Five Guys. And I rate the Five Guys burger a 9 out of 10. And then I go to a hole in the wall diner, and it's not as like a big chain, you know, it's got like 2 people working in it. And I think that burger is just as good as the Five Guys burger. Like, I still am going to say it's the same burger, but that's with an asterisk next to it, and the asterisk is like a paragraph where I say, like, yeah, the burgers taste the same, but this burger is, I feel, made with a little bit more love and care. The environment was a little bit more enjoyable for me. I actually had a really good time listening to the music they were playing in the restaurant. You know, like, that's how I feel about Expedition 33 right now. I think it and Metaphor are of the same vein, but Metaphor is the In-N-Out burger. Like, I expect it to be good because it's Atlas working on an RPG, and they've shown that they know how to work on RPG, right? So, I went to the Hole in the Wall Diner, and they served me Expedition 33. They played 8 hours of music that wasn't repeating in the diner. I got told that one of the chefs in the back, he was a line cook that they found, they found him posting like a YouTube video of him cooking food at home, and they were like, yeah, and he makes a really good burger, right? But overall, the burger tastes the same to me. You know what I mean? So while I think that this is a game made with a lot more love and care than something like Metaphor, I still feel like I'm walking away from them with the same, like, I would recommend this game as well as Metaphor to somebody, right? If this game gets Game of the Year nominated but doesn't win, I think that'll be a fair thing for it. Yeah, kind of like with last year's Game of the Year in Metaphor, I feel like for me. I think if this game gets nominated for best music, and doesn't sweep that category, I don't know what we're talking about anymore. This game's OST is fucking fire. What's going on, little Lucario? I think if there was anything I didn't like as much with Expedition 33 was Act 3 felt a bit odd going through. It is the most out of the bunch of the 3 acts, because Act 1 and Act 2 are straightforward, linear, there's a path to follow. Once you hit Act 3, you get given the go finish the game objective, and then like 7 different side paths open, and then it's like, oh fuck, could we not have just like made these side paths mandatory? I feel like the pacing is a little bit off. I do appreciate the fact that they have the ability that if you don't want to do the side content, you can just go end the game. But I do feel like I would have appreciated a little bit more structure. I don't need it, and I don't think the game suffers from it. However, I do think I would have preferred that, right? Because I am a fucking child. You put me in a room with a box of Legos, and I start asking where the instructions are for it, right? I will start looking up instructions online to build something cool before like my brain just goes, oh, let's just stick these bricks together and see what we make. You know, you put me in a Minecraft world, like I'm remaking something. Yeah, that's exactly what happened to us. We got to Simon, and that boy put me in the fucking dirt, and I had to one-shot him. But if you do all that stuff, then the final fight with Renoir is just like, eh. I think in a just and righteous world, what this game should have done, and I don't know how they could have done it, is they could have scaled Lumiere to your level, respective of what you are when you enter it, right? Because the fact that I walked into everything with Verso and just free aim shot it to death and was at no risk to die, I think is a testament to, hey, I don't have to die. Metaphor has Stroll, Heisme, Brigitte, and they're all really good. It has Stroll, Heisme, Brigitte, Hulkenberg. You got Foxy Grandpa. I think you have the only characters that I think that I wasn't 100% on board with in Metaphor, just because of how late you got them, were Yufa or Juna and... Was it Yufa and Juna? Did they have the same ending of their names, or am I insane? I crit my dad for 56 mil after his speech about taking me home. Yeah, you got the names right? I thought so. Narc blew through Endgame as well. Yeah, I think that the Act 3 pacing and balance is just out the fucking window. You start doing any of the relationship side quests, then you get to fucking Lumiere. Hey, Renoir is going to be fucking sashimi in 3 seconds. I can't say I like any character significantly more than any other, but I really do like Renoir and Verso a little bit more than Mael and Clair. I like... Eskia is my favorite character. I like Verso a lot. I think Verso was a very great, flawed character. I think he might be my actual pick for, like, my favorite. But Eskia is my favorite. I like Turtle Rock guy, Francois. Francois is cool. This game has really great, like, nuance and story, and I really do appreciate that. Let me see if I need to update Dark Ages on fucking... My Xbox app just fucking closed. Thank you, Xbox. Xbox, explode that. Nope. 14 minutes remain. I think you one-shot both phases the second try. Yeah. Like, I wasn't in a one-shot scenario, but I definitely had the fucking 6-shooter on my hip, and I was fucking fanning the hammer on Verso. Who did you choose to fight as, by the way? I think I joined literally as you finished it. I don't think there is a choice. I think I fight as Verso every single time. It's not a choice to me, because even though fighting as Mael makes Mael happy, and I feel like you're pushed to make Mael happy based on how the game treats her as the main character. I'm gonna fucking kill Kinro. You know, you get to that decision, and my brain goes, if Mael stays here, she effectively holds everybody fucking hostage. to make herself feel better, and she dies in the painting. You gonna do /see the Mael ending? Yeah, we can do that real quick. Okay, let me open up my browser. What's going on, Rain? Yeah, we finished a little bit ago. Hold on. .com. No, I do not want to go to the illegal, silly playlist to commit tax fraud to. Here, let's see. Mael ending. First thing I see is Mael build Expedition 33. Let me go ahead and find out where it is. Actually, I'll just add a new thingy. Window capture. Yippee! Alright. Let's see this. Whoa. We can speed it along, right?
Hi.
Spoilers, we finished the game!
Kyrie!
Raid Sylvanas stream? The fuck are you talking about?
Please. Thank you. Stop him from painting.
Don't say that. Please, don't say that.
Hey, please, listen to me. Only you can do this. You can do this, please. Unpaint me. Unpaint me.
So,
Please. I don't want this life.
stop saying that.
I don't want this life.
Oh. This sucks.
I just wanted to live this lifetime together. This lifetime that was stolen from us. Please. Bro. Please.
I don't want this life. Help me. Help me.
Yeah, this fucking sucks, dude.
If you could grow old, would you find a reason to smile?
Ooh, okay, so it's a life to paint instead of a life to love. Oh, you're fucked. No, man, this sucks. No, that's not the boy. She made another verso. Oh, you suck a lot! Oh my god! It's not the same verso, he doesn't have the scar on his eye. Yeah, glad we didn't fucking do that one. Glad that was not our ending. Holy. What the fuck? Dude, that sucked a lot. And I don't mean like it's poorly written or anything like that, don't get me wrong, but like the implications of that are fucking awful. Oof. Nah, I was like, oh, okay, so she's going to keep like the people in Lumiere as they were. Then I saw fucking CL's husband. I noticed the fact that she is walking around with a small boy with black hair. And she brought back Gustav and Sophie. Yeah, that's the you just want to make yourself feel good, Mael ending. And then the verso that she fucking puts on stage and makes play music for her enjoyment. Nah, man, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. She just wants to escape her actual reality is mostly how I saw it. Yeah, no, that I think was the reason that I picked Verso in the first place. That's part of the reason, at least. Like, that escapism is healthy, but if it's the only thing that you're seeking, then no, it's not healthy. You're going to hurt yourself. And like I said, at the beginning of Act 3, I probably would have been more inclined to see Mael's ending in game, but after the Renoir fight, and she is able to let everybody understand that, you know, letting go isn't the right idea, staying in here isn't the right idea, but, you know, we gotta have that healthy balance. And then she says, no, Verso, I'm not letting you stop painting. And I was like, oh, okay. You've fallen into the same trap. You have fallen into the same trap of this is your perfect world, right? All right. Got 50 seconds left. Yeah, and like Alicia, I feel like already, like, she is a very tragic character that does need a lot, right? And I think she needs help, right? Like, very much so. I think that's the way to phrase it. She needs help for a lot of things, but escaping into the painting and spending your entire life there is not the way. Good ass video game, man. I really like the story. But unpack this shit. Ooh. Feel like she had the worst of Renoir and Aline's aspect in that ending. Yeah, exactly. In a cycle of I need this fantasy to feel better is how you get worse. Yeah. Like, this game, I don't want to say is very subtle, because I think, like, I'm not reading too hard into it. I think it's very apparent what the game is telling me, but I don't see how people reach the end of the game and then pick Mael there. Unless they're like fucking their Twitter account is like Mael fan fucking 1493 or some shit like that, you know? Alright, let me change the category. Coom the Dark Ages. Coom the Dark Ages. At what point would having Verso really help her? Yeah, no, it's that verso specifically was the only one that could help her. Every other verso that she creates is just going to be something that is self gratification just to make her feel better, which sucks. Reading a bit of the other comments, it seems most of them just wanted Mael and the world she played in to be happy slash stay intact. And I get that, right? Like I said, like I think that if you go and you pick that ending, you care more about Mael. But to me, I care about Mael, but I also rationalize to myself that if Mael stays in the canvas, she may be happy, but she's going to die. Her family is going to have to grieve again. Right? It's not like she just gets to, it's not a happily ever after. We've been told the consequences of staying in the canvas. And if you can be the perfect being that you want to be inside the canvas, why the fuck would you ever leave? We can call it escapism, we can call it coping, we can call it whatever we want, but at the end of the day, she shouldn't be there. Yeah, that's exactly it, Broke Boy. She's not creating a healthy space for her to feel good. She's creating an echo chamber of this makes me happy. It's effectively suicide, right? Like if you want to cut away the nuance of like, oh, this is just something that the painters do, right? It's effectively getting high, right? So you can feel or you can hallucinate that your lost family member is there, right? Aline, and I think it's more so specific that Aline showed Renoir how to paint and get in the canvas and paint with her, right? And told him the dangers of being addicted to this. And then got addicted herself because she misses her son, right? If and that effectively that addiction kills her, right? Renoir shows you that hey, she keeps doing this, this is what's going on with her. She's writhing around in pain, unable to move because she's been in this canvas for so long. So keeping Mael in the canvas sucks. But you know, I think that I am a I am but one person. I don't think that that is the correct way to look at it. I think it is just a way to look at it. I think the game reinforces a lot of the things that I say, but if people do pick the Mael ending, I don't think like I'm not gonna be like, oh, you picked the Mael ending, you're a fucking moron. You want to kill Mael, but like in my mind, that choice is almost as diluted as she was going into that confrontation. Even the as I already self or as I already admitted to earlier, the very flawed verso had had a very what's the word? Had a very hypocritical take, but when he starts to understand everything as it relates to his family, he sees his mother fucking dying and says, "Yeah, no, I gotta end this. You gotta get out of here. You can't stay here." That ending solidified it as a mid-9 game because that was so rough as an ending, and they were afraid to make us feel like it's a bad end. I, hmm, I don't think that it's a. I don't think this game has a good ending. I don't think the Mael ending is a good ending or a bad ending. I just think it is of like with everything in this game's depiction of grief, there is no correct way to deal with it. You deal with it how you deal with it, right? Obviously, some things are more healthy than others, and certain things can lead you to unhealthy paths, but Mael choosing to stay inside the canvas is unhealthy, but it's not wrong, right? Because are you going to sit here and look me in the face and tell me that a disabled child who has a way to get over her disability, she's wrong for wanting to pursue that? I don't know. I think it's not right to call that the bad ending. 97% on unpacking. Why is it that the Xbox app unpacks my games more properly than Steam? She's 32 at minimum. Well, no, she's 16 twice. Updated drivers are required. Required? I'm gonna update my drivers and it's gonna fucking blow my shit up. Hold on. I launched that game and it said, "Hey, buddy, no, I'm not upgrading to the NVIDIA app. I just want to update my drivers. Grow up." If the stream does go down while I install these drivers, be aware that we will be coming right back. Timing is funny, but mentally she was 16 as Alicia, then reborn as Mael, and aged up to 16 again. Yeah, exactly. She wasn't like she in terms of like age inside the monolith. I had mentioned before that she was on proper age to go with Expedition 33, but she had not matured. Right? She was 16 twice. So having Mael make the choice to stay in the painting is a little bit fucky wucky to me. I don't think we should be giving 16-year-olds any bit of power. It's installing. My screen might go black. I don't know if if OBS will fucking explode. I know Discord sometimes explodes when I install drivers. Ugh. Hold my hand, chat room, I'm scared. Send that 16-year-old to the chores. To the chores? Truly a worse fate than any that resides at the end of Expedition 33. Yeah, exactly, broke boy. What do you mean King of the Hill is coming back on Hulu? Who okayed this? I'm here so I don't have a panic attack over this game. Do you mean Doom, or you have to mean Doom? You moving on to Doom? Yeah, we're installing drivers right now. So stream might fucking explode. But I hope it doesn't. I don't want it to explode. Doom. Okay, I thought you were talking about Expedition 33, because that we just finished that a second ago. And I think of the two, that would be the one to have the panic attack over, no? Imagine how fucked it'd be if, as punishment, your parents forced you on Expedition 33. Dude, I think that if I was in Lumiere and I had to deal with the expeditions, I'm gonna tell them niggas, hold that shit. I'll see you next year for my gamage. What the fuck do you mean 67 people, or 67 groups of people, year after year after year, got exploded? To complete restart the system? Okay, fuck that. I'm playing Doom. We didn't have to wait for that at all. Could not enumerate the graphics devices? What do you mean you couldn't enumerate the graphics devices? Do I have to restart my PC? Whoa! I'll be back in 10 minutes, chat room. We are taking a break. How about that? I'll be back. Hold on.